What if Varda's vents screamed with fear, crushing your soul to trap you in eternal ice? This bone-chilling tale from Varda in 2450 will grip you tight. Kael Vex, a scout, finds screaming vents that wail her fear of her brother's death. They're dragging her crew into a frozen abyss. Dare you face the cold? Varda's icy plains gleam under a dim, starry sky, their vents steaming like terrified breaths. Kael trudges in her sealed suit, her boots crunching through brittle frost as she maps the dwarf planet's scars. The outpost domes flicker in the dark, her only refuge since Earth became a lost dream. Kael's heart aches. Her brother Taz died in a rover crash she failed to prevent 6 years ago. His last words, "It's screaming," haunting her nights. She searches the vents for answers. One day, her probe pierces a vent, and it screams Kael in Taz's voice like shattering ice. Her chest burns with cold. She thinks it's the frost, but she freezes when the vent glows blue and shapes Taz's face, his eyes hollow, fearing her. Kael's terrified, yet she keeps probing. The screaming vents wail louder, their cries sharper, and chaos hits the outpost. Probes seize, lights shatter, and the air chokes like it's stealing fear. Kael's scanner, her guide in the dark, stabs her mind, as if the screams are burrowing inside. Other scouts hear their fear in the vents, lost families, old terrors, then turn rigid, encased in ice. Kael inspects a vent, its ice carved with glowing runes that pulse under her light. She confides in Rin, a gruff geologist with a scar on his jaw from a frostbite wound. Rin scours the plains and finds runes, images of people frozen, their fear etched in ice. The vents scream, "You're lost," in a voice that cuts, and Kael's hands tremble, dropping her scanner. What are these screams after? Kael and Rin venture to a vent cluster, where frost bites like claws and winds howl like terrified ghosts. The vents scream in a maze of blue light, their runes twisting too fast. Kael's gut churns, sensing eyes in the dark. The runes lead to a cavern of ice, its walls throbbing blue like a fearful heart. At its core, a screaming vent pulses, exhaling frost like a collapsing star. Shadowy forms writhe in the mist, faceless but trembling. Kael's head spins, like the vents pulling her soul. Rin's sensors catch signals from the core, not from Earth but from beyond the Kuiper Belt. The cavern feels alive, starving. Kael's scanner flashes horrors, Taz's crash, scouts screaming, an ancient outpost entombed in ice. Rin whispers, "The vents are the fear, not just ice but a cosmic trap that feeds on terror." They serve the terrors, a force that thrives on fear, growing with every scream. The outpost crumbles, domes split in sudden quakes, heaters fail, and scouts march toward vents, their eyes glowing blue like the ice. Kael fears they're lost. Rin finds a jagged shard in the cavern, etched with stars that pulse like fearful eyes. The vents roar, "We claim," and Kael questions if Rin's hiding a secret. The ground shakes, Varda raging. Kael grabs a shard piece. It burns cold, showing Taz's face, his voice pleading, "You failed me." Everyone's scanners show a frost web where fear freezes forever, each note a soul, each scream a terror. The vent core displays a blue lattice trapping every scout. The plains groan, shadows mirroring the web as if Varda's waking. Rin finds runes saying the terrors crave the galaxy next, linked to other vents beyond, all starving for souls. Kael sees vision shadows with glowing eyes plotting to crush worlds. The fierce signals streak to the stars, calling the terrors closer. Radios wail Taz's voice. Lights flash his face. Kael feels Taz's faint whisper in the web, urging her to fight. Rin's eyes flicker. Can she trust him? Varda quakes, shadows caging them. Kael stares at the vent core, hands numb, sensing Taz's ghost. She thinks of her failure, the outpost, and if this force is unstoppable, the air chokes, crushing her soul. The outpost falls silent, and Kael wonders if the terrors are inside her. The vents scream louder, their frost thicker, alive with hunger. She steps back, but ice splinters, and the screams call her name. Rin's face pales, staring at the core. They feel that something's coming, unstoppable. The planes roar, alive. Kael grips her scanner, desperate for answers, but the screams pull her to the dark. The vents pulse like a storm, alive. Kael wonders if she escaped or if the fears claimed her soul. Twist. The vents aren't ice. They're the throats of a star beast that feeds on fear, and Kael's crash woke it. Is Varda a dwarf planet or a tomb of terror? Would you probe a screaming vent knowing it craves your fear? Share your darkest fears in the comments. Smash that like button if this froze your soul. Send it to your space nerd friends. And subscribe for more stories that'll haunt your dreams.